So after Newington then, and with some journalistic aspirations forefront in your mind, you then went to university and did arts?
No, I went straight into a solicitor's office under articles of clerkship and did what was then the Solicitors Admission Board examinations. That was a difficult course because there was very little help given. It's not like it is today. The only material we could get apart from private tuition was copies of Roneo University notes, lecture notes. And, I found it difficult anyway. It took me about 8 years to qualify.
How did you keep body and soul together during that time? You were getting some kind of practical experience, obviously.
Well, I started off earning £1 10 shillings a week. This was some time before I got married, so money wasn't so important. I was permanently overdrawn in the petty cash. After a year or two, it went up to £2. And then I went to the country. I went to Muswellbrook, and the wage shot up to £20 a week. And I went from Muswellbrook to Katoomba. I finished my articles at Katoomba, and that was in 1960. I finally finished and was admitted as a solicitor.
You, at that point, and this is just before you went to Alice Springs, I understand, you'd become qualified as a solicitor. Did you have particular areas of interest in law that you were even then deciding you'd like to pursue?
I think I did have some interest in the criminal law. I didn't know much about it. I remember reading a couple of books that interested me, such as a book about Samuel Leibovitz, the New York attorney, by Quentin Reynolds, called Courtroom, and a few other American books, Scottsboro Boy, about the terrible miscarriage of justice at Scottsboro, Alabama. But I had very little experience in it all before I went to Alice Springs, and then I was forced to learn something about it because I didn't have anyone to turn to for, some advice.
No mentors?
Well, that's not quite right. I did work for a while for Neil Hargrave, and I finally bought the practice, and he went back to Adelaide, which was almost the practice in those days. People would come from Adelaide to Alice Springs and then go back. Phil Rice QC was born in Alice Springs. His father was a station master, and Michael Abbott QC, his father was the first solicitor in Alice Springs. He was called Bunny Abbott.
Why was he called Bunny?
I think for the same reason Julia Gillard calls Michael Tony Abbott, Tony Rabbit.